This is your Power Platform daily brief for Thursday, the 9th of May, with myself, Mark Christie, and Iain Connolly.
Hello.
How are we doing?
I'm very well. Very well Thursday.
I don't really need to ask you how you're doing because we spent last night together. We spent the evening together at a Microsoft Build keynote party in Incremental in Scotland. So it's quite an interesting thing. So we're going to cover a few items off from that.
Yeah, I think the first thing today, obviously, the half hour beforehand, you have the Microsoft Build Imagine Cup. So there's 3 teams ended up at that. One from America, Canada. Is it America?
America, yeah, it was America.
And they were Easy Glucose. So they developed they were the winners of it overall, to be fair, and they developed a camera that sits on top of your smartphone, uses your smartphone technology to scan diabetics' eyes, and from the changes it identifies ridges, etc., using some crazy in-depth programming by the sounds of it.
Yeah, he said he spent a lot of nights, a lot of solo nights, looking through code algorithms and cognitive services.
Exactly, working with his professors and all that stuff, and from that they can, without pinpricks, load and reducing the cost of any sort of tools that you need for constant glucose monitoring, whether it's wristbands or sensors in the back of your arm and all that, identify peaks and troughs and send alerts, etc., through Azure services. So that's really, really cool.
There's also Team Cali from Asia. Now, obviously, this one maybe isn't as. When I watched it, I kind of thought, it's not really that relevant. But then, when you think of the level of pollution over there, then it does make sense. So this was a
Exactly.
face mask which had about 4 different layers of functionality on it. So it had the ability to administer asthmatic medicine. It had pollen filters.
Respiratory medicines and stuff as well.
Yep. It had skills, so you could hook it into different voice recognition software. So it was quite an interesting one. That one. Again, as I say, I didn't see the need for it where I am, but I'm sure there is certainly a big call for it over there.
Yep. And then the team that came, where did Finder are from the UK.
Yeah, so find our UK based.
Yep. And they've developed a tool using Azure and cognitive services, etc., again in virtual machines, by putting some cameras in people's houses or wherever, and using your phone and GPS, I think, from there to help visually impaired or not visually impaired people that just don't know where items are, to help find bags, mobile phones, anything like that, and it will help direct you. It's almost like it almost reminded me of being at school and playing hot and cold when somebody hides something and tell you whether you're hot or cold to it. That was pretty cool.
See, I wasn't, if I'm honest, I wasn't too keen on the demo because the boy just placed a bag in front of him and said, "Oh, look, we've found my bag." And I'm like, aye, all right, I could have found that myself.
They had 3 minutes. They had 3 minutes to present for each piece of it. So
I thought they could have done a little bit better. That might have reflected, I was going to say reflecting their position, but they did get through to, they won all the regional events and got right through to the final. So I think even coming in third, they got like 10,000 worth of Azure credit, which nobody's to sniff at that, really, are they?
yeah, and they get the prize from coming first from the regionals as well. So they done quite well. Everybody done really well to get to where they were, and for coming first place, you get a actual mentoring session, etc. With so that would all be really cool.
So from that, we then kind of did we kick off? Didn't we kick off? So I've got a theory behind this, but we kind of started off with the HoloLens 2 demo in space with a couple of astronauts.
Where they were aiming for the sky and aiming for the stars.
And we just didn't deliver. Now, so the two theories are this was actually Microsoft going down the route of using like AR, and we were all watching a screen, and those two people were just holograms, and they weren't even on the stage, and that's what it was all about, and people were just messing, or something just didn't go. So that really just was a non-starter, wasn't it?
Yeah, see, they came on, spoke all the kind of great build up to the HoloLens 2, introduced the HoloLens 2. We're meant to take us to space. Nothing seemed to happen, and then they walked off the stage and we just went on with the show.
Yeah, it was quite. quite surreal to see. Yeah, it didn't work. Next, let's go. And it was like boom. We then kind of got into like looking at how supermarkets are going to change the way you're shopping. So you walk into a supermarket and your fridge is an LCD screen. You can see what's behind it. You can see the deals on it. You can see how many are left, and it's just pictures. It was quite a strange. I don't even know. Creepy might be the word. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It looked cool, and it was quite smart. But I was just there's a level of creep in there that freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, because if it's a glass door on a fridge, surely you can see what's in it. But I suppose that whole helps control and maybe impact the environment and things as well, because you're not opening and closing fridges, and because you can see what's in the fridge rather than the way the fridges are just now in the supermarket, but they're all very open. I
Yep.
don't know.
The other thing it might do though is companies could just supply one version of that bottle, and outside they could have the promotional stuff on it. So rather than have buy two for $2 or two for £2, it might be a case of these are just standard bottles, and the advert is actually on the LCD on the outside. Might work
Well,
that
that's a
way.
good theory, actually. It leads into the Starbucks demo as well, where as you drive up to the drive-through, you have the screen that's there that normally they probably have the same point of sale stuff they send to every Starbucks or every stair place that has that screen, but the Azure system there that they've built for this, I think it's called, was it Dark Brew?
Yeah.
Was the name of the software behind it, where it would know the location of the store, it would know what was in stock in the store, and would then make suggestions to you based on the time of day, the weather. If you ordered a particular coffee, it would then maybe change the screen to show you a complimentary sandwich or bun or muffin or something like that to go with it as well.
Yeah, it would know the weather. It would know if it's a cold day, offer somebody soup. If it's a hot day, give them a cold drink. I mean, the one thing that I've actually just thought of there, will they get to the point where you'll go through the drive-through, it'll pick up your number plate and change the adverts on the outside based on your number plate and your buying patterns?
I would presume that's probably where that's going to go, because right now, I've known this for years, the supermarkets, when you pay with your debit card, like here in the UK, certainly the supermarkets are able to do basic level BI many years ago. I'm assuming it's come on much advanced from that now, where they know when you're going to need a carton of milk or a loaf of bread based on your buying patterns. So that would only make sense. They had some sort of AMPR type thing, scan your reg plate and start making your coffee because they know what it is you're going to order.
That wouldn't work in my house though. No one went to buy bread and milk because my children are they'll just steal it straight away.
Oh, I bet there's still a pattern.
there is a pattern. We don't have any all the time. So the next one that I thought was really good, and I would love to see it in practice, was the chatbot. So we get a video, and it was about a 4 or 5 minute video of somebody talking, bringing up Outlook, asking what sessions they had or what meetings they had planned. She wasn't, as you said at the time. Your comment was she's not a very good manager. She just keeps putting everything back. So she was
Yeah.
she was picking up all her appointments, moving them back.
What I have today, schedule that to tomorrow. What I have to today, well, push that back to tomorrow. Or that appointment, cancel that. Or they come to this meeting, no, we'll invite them because I can't go to it. I mean, it's all stuff that genuinely happens on a day to day basis. And
Yep.
she had this natural conversation with the Cortana at the time, the chatbot, and it made all the changes, gave suggestions back, everything. It looked really, really, really cool. I think for me, that kind of ties in a little bit with the my analytics element of it as well, where you can see how much time you're using and where you're not using to get your life balance, etc. But the chatbot stuff's really, really cool. Certainly going to the omni-channel framework that we're looking at.
Yeah, I quite like that because she arrives in the building, she comes out the lift, she starts talking, she goes, makes herself a coffee, sits down, and has a meeting. But in between that, she basically replans 2 days. She has a training meeting with somebody, and then it says, I want a meeting with this person and their line manager. And it uses some AI in the background to go and look at who the connection is to that person. So I think the video had like 37 different calls that it used, so it was quite impressive.
Was one of them actually not like if you met your colleagues in the hall and decided you needed to have an impromptu meeting, you could actually say, I'm in X building, where's the nearest meeting room, and it would book it for you?
Yeah, there was.
One of them that I can't remember if it was exactly that chatbot element of it, but there was something about that.
That was a chatbot. So she was saying it was actually that same one. So I want this person and their line manager, but I will be in Redmond on this day. Redmond City Centre, find me somewhere. And then she said, I'm going to go out for lunch, find a local restaurant, and then find out if it's going to be nice weather and can I sit
And if they'd
outside.
seen it outside, yeah, that was another one of them. So there's loads of it. I definitely think if you've not seen it, spend the time, watch the keynote, and then from there, delve into the areas that you're needing to know more about or want to know more about. There was loads and loads in it.
Yep. We'll post a link to the build information in the show notes. So if everyone wants to look at it, they can just pick it up there. And that's us for Thursday. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Bye.